Hey, what is up, friends? It is Casey here with my friend Heidi.
Hi.
To bring you another Active Kids show. And we are in week 3 of our series, Strikeout, talking about how do we come back from our big mistakes that we make and how humility and being humble plays a part of that. And this week, we're talking about how to come back from a huge mistake. What happens when you make a huge mistake? How do we come back from that? How are we able to apologize? And how are we able to learn from that mistake and move past it?
That's a good one. I have a lot to learn from that.
That's true.
But first, I know we're talking about big mistakes today, but let's talk about mistakes that were kind of funny and didn't really have a bad outcome, but mistakes in life. Do you have one?
I do. When a few years back when I was getting married, it was on my wedding day, all right? I have a lot of things going on in my mind. I'm busy at the house. I'm trying to get, dressed and get all my stuff in the car that I need to get in there to get down to the venue.
Not only life change, but...
Exactly. And as I'm doing all this, I go out of my house, and it's just a habit that we had. We would lock the back door and close it, and our front door was always locked. So as I went out, I locked the door, and I closed it, I threw out the trash, and then when I went to go back in, the door was locked. And I locked myself out of my house. I was barely just in my pajamas still, waiting to go get dressed and shower and get ready for my wedding day. And I was like, I can't call Caitlin because she's 40 miles from where and she's getting all done. So luckily, our roommate at the time, he wasn't too far. He was just getting a haircut, and he got his haircut. I sat down on the step for 20 minutes waiting for him.
Waiting in your pajamas.
Yep, came in and took the quickest shower of my life and got ready. So.
Were you late?
No.
That's pretty good. That's a funny mistake.
Yeah.
I have one too. I accidentally one time maybe walked into a boys' bathroom at a movie theater.
That's awkward.
Right? And when I walked in the door, I noticed all the urinals and was like, oh, I'm in the boys' bathroom. And I just owned it and went into a stall and shut the stall. And I went to the bathroom and I got done. I did not wash my hands though. I got the little hand sanitizer outside because I was like, I am not stopping at a sink and having to look people in the eye. But
that would have been really, really awkward.
It would have been weird. I just owned it. This was when movie theaters were open. Remember movies? Remember going to movies?
Yeah,
maybe we'll get to do that again soon.
But today we have some really fun science stuff. So science stuff today, we are going to show you how to turn these regular vases or bowls of water and turn them into homemade lava
lamp. I'm excited.
So if you don't know what a lava lamp is, it's one of those cool things that have those colored bubbles and then just kind of move around the lamp. Well, this one's kind of a temporary version of that. It will be around for a couple minutes, but it's going to be super cool. So
I think you can do it with things you have in your house too. So if it's okay with mom and dad, check with them.
That's right.
Get the things and do it too.
So let's do science stuff.
All right. I'm super excited to make these lava lamps. Tell us what you need, Casey.
Awesome. So you're going to need a clear glass vase or cup. You could do it in a smaller cup. You decide to go a little bit bigger. Fill it halfway with just water. It can just be water from the sink. It doesn't have to be any special water. And then oil. All right. And you're going to fill up the rest of it with oil almost to the tippy top. What you're going to need too is the Alka-Seltzer tablets. They are these things called effervescent tablets, meaning they dissolve in the water and they get all bubbly and carbonated like. And what else do you need? You need
food coloring. We picked colors. Casey picked his favorite.
Pink.
We
talked about this last week.
And I picked teal.
The week before. I can't remember.
And that's it. The vase is the water, oil, effervescent, food coloring. Let's do this.
Make sure it's clear too so you can actually see it.
Yeah, you want to see it.
So the first step is to pour the oil or the water first and then pour halfway with oil.
Do you see the way it separates? Here, let's move these things. Do you see how it separates? It doesn't really mix so well.
Yeah, water and oil do not mix. Maybe you've heard that when your parents are like, you and your sister or you and your brother are like water and oil.
Yeah. Oh, look how cool that is. You can see it go to the bottom and float. It floats too. That's interesting.
We didn't have enough for Heidi to have all the way to the top. I didn't realize how much this would take.
But that's what makes it science. We're going to see the difference between the two, right?
Yep, so now you'll know if you need to fill it all the way or only halfway. Okay. So Next, we'll put on our food. As many drops as you want of food dye, the more the better.
Be careful though, this stuff is staining, so don't get on your clothes.
Look at that, look how it just
that is so cool.
You kind of want it to sink to the bottom because when you put the tablet in, that's the part that's gonna bubble up and create the lava lamp effect.
So is this stuff, it's not sticking to the oil either?
Nope, goes right through the oil.
Interesting. Ooh, look how pretty it is when it starts to spread out.
Like I said, the more the better.
Okay, so you're saying I should put more?
Looks like you got one.
Oh, I think I used it all.
You know what, let's do it. Let's do the whole
thing.
So this is our first attempt doing this.
I've never done this
So we'll
before.
see if we did it right or wrong. So now we each need a little tablet.
Yeah, there should be two in here.
All you gotta do is drop it into the water and oil mixture.
Okay, there's one for you.
Alright, nice big tablet. Smells like, kind of smells like Sprite.
Oh, I see that. It's a lemon limey.
Yeah.
I smell pine salt.
Our pine salt, baby.
Okay, ready, set, drop.
So in a while, it should start
Ooh,
fizzling.
mine's starting to bubble.
There you go.
Yours is too.
Takes a while for it to start.
Oh, I'm gonna turn this because it's bubbling right here where it is. Because I put it on that side.
You guys can see. And it's bubbling. There goes some of the red food dye. Interesting.
That is cool how you can see an oil. That's why you wanted more oil.
Now I have an idea. What if we put more in?
Okay.
I think the reason why it's not as cool as we thought it was going to be because we have too much water.
I think so too. I think we have too much water.
So maybe we should do 2 more each.
Okay.
Let's see what that does. Science is all about experimenting and seeing, testing theories.
If this blows up though, I'm running. Okay.
Fair enough. Right.
Okay.
So I got 3 tablets in mine now.
Yes, me too. And my container's actually smaller.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah.
Starting to move around a little bit.
Look at the top. It's gonna bubble over.
No, I don't think it would.
Okay, so when we were filling them, I was thinking the other way that you needed more water to less oil, but it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You need more oil to less water. Yeah, yours is legit.
Well, anything worth doing is worth overdoing. So let's see. Let's try 2 more packets each.
I feel like you want this to explode.
Kind of do.
Yeah, I know you do. You're cleaning it up. Okay.
Okay. I'll take responsibility. I might need to take one of these ones down for my heartburn after this.
You put 2 more packages or just 2 more?
I'm gonna put 2 more, like 2 whole packages in there.
Oh, I just broke one. Wonder if that'll make a difference. I feel like mine is like stopping bubbling, is it? Look at this one broken.
Okay, that's gonna bubble over, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Look at mine is too.
Uh-oh.
Casey, there it goes.
No way.
Oh! That's such a mess.
So too much, it's too cloudy now. You can't see. Oh my
can't see
gosh,
it.
here we go.
Look it's like a volcano.
Now we just kind of have to sit and wait it out.
Well, that was fun. We got it all cleaned up. It actually wasn't as hard to clean up as I thought it was going to be.
It will stain your hands.
A little bit.
I don't know. What did you learn?
Okay, one, we learned that oil and water definitely don't mix, that they actually react with each other when you add that effervescent tablet in there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I learned that you probably need a smaller container and don't use so many tablets. Maybe 1 to 2 at most.
Maybe just don't fill the container all the way.
Maybe.
Less water, more oil. Yeah, that's it.
Try this at home. Water, oil, food dye, and you need some Alka-Seltzer tablets.
That's
fun. All it takes. Really
but
fun.
right now, let's get ready for a cool word from Casey and worship. You ready?
Yes, let's do this.
New month, new memory verse time. So this one is found in James 4:10. And it says, humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. Let's do it again. James 4:10. Humble yourself before the Lord, and he will lift you up. James 4:10.
Hey guys, what is up? We're talking about some of our biggest mistakes that we've ever made, and I want to share one with you. And that would be one day me and my friends, we met up at this restaurant in where I lived at the time called the Mad Greek, and I just started driving, so I took me and my brother and one other friend with me, and we went over there and we met some other friends. And as we're eating, we're talking, we're having a good time, we realized we want to go back to my house to have more fun. So what we do is we decide that I'm going to drive everyone back. Here's the thing, I only have 5 seats in my car, and we had 6 friends with us total, including me. So one of those people either had to walk, get a cab, a bus, or they are getting in the car. But here's the thing, I just started driving and I did not want to mess this up. So we came up with kind of a crazy idea that all my friends and me would get in my car and we would put my brother in the trunk. Because that is just the logical thing to do, is put your little brother, who wasn't too much younger than me at the time, in the trunk. So we got in the car and put my brother in the trunk. He was cool with it. He was having fun, thought it was funny. And then we drove. It wasn't too far. That's why we were okay with it. It was only about a mile, a little over a mile to my house. Got in the car, we drive home. We agreed that we weren't going to tell any of my parents about this. We were just going to keep it between us. And lo and behold, he gets out of the trunk, goes in the house, everything seems fine, but then he goes right to my mom and says, guess what we just did? Tells her everything. Wasn't as funny as he thought it was going to be to her. So I got in trouble big time, and I knew I was going to be in trouble. I knew that it was going to be bad, and so I was just going to take whatever loss I got, whatever punishment I got, and just make sure that I told my mom and dad how sorry I was. And I tried to humble myself and try to not fight it and try to not argue with them, and just said, yes, I know I really, really messed up. And they actually went easy on me. I learned from a mistake. I still got punished. I still had to deal with the consequences of what I did. But they went easy on me, and they just talked to me about how dangerous that could be, right? It was a huge mistake that I made. But since then, I've never done that, obviously. And now I'm a dad, and I will never do that, and I will make sure my son never does that. But we can learn from our mistakes as long as we choose to humble ourselves, as long as we choose to learn from it and really grow out of it. And one person who did that remarkably well was a man named Peter. Now, Peter made a lot of mistakes. Some of them were small, some of them were big. One of his biggest mistakes he's ever made was denying Jesus. See, Jesus and Peter were close friends as well as he was a disciple. And one time Jesus told Peter, hey, Peter, you are going to deny me one day. And he said, Lord, I would never do that. He says, you will, Peter. You're going to deny me 3 times before the rooster crows. And Peter had no idea what he was talking about. See, Jesus thought years and years ahead, and Peter only thought in the now and thought, no way, I love you way too much, Lord. And Jesus knew how much Peter loved him, but he knew what was going to happen. And when Jesus got arrested and was going to be put on trial for the things that people said he did and people wanted to kill him for, Peter came looking for him. And when he did, people saw Peter and said, hey, I've seen you with Jesus. You're one of his friends, aren't you? And he's like, no, I'm not. And he kind of walked away from that, but other people were starting to recognize him because Peter and Jesus went everywhere talking about God's love and said, aren't you that guy that hangs out and eats with Jesus? No, that's not me. You're thinking of someone else. That's 2 times already. And the final 3rd time, someone recognizes him. You're one of the best friends of Jesus, aren't you? You're one of his disciples. And Peter says, no, that's not me. It isn't me. You have it wrong. And then he realizes what he did when he hears that rooster crow. You know, the cock-a-doodle-doo, the cock-a-doodle-doo, the cock-a-doodle-doo. I can't do a good rooster. That's the best rooster I got. But he hears that rooster crow and he remembers Jesus' words. Denied him 3 times. Denied he loved him. Denied he was his friend. And Jesus ended up dying. Could you imagine how bad Peter felt? Could you imagine the mistake he felt he made? No matter what could have happened to Peter, being friends with Jesus should have been more important to him. And he felt that. He felt the pain of what he did. But good thing Jesus didn't just die. 3 days later after he died, he raises from the dead again. And he goes and he meets with Peter. In fact, Peter actually, what happened is he was so distraught, so sad, that he went back to fishing. And as he was fishing, Jesus tells him to throw his nets on the other side, like another story we've heard of before, right? And as Peter heard that, he recognizes those words before, that phrase before. and he realizes that Jesus is actually there. So Peter jumps out of the boat and he swims to shore, and he sees a little fire and a meal that Jesus is preparing for both of them. Jesus was expecting him. He was expecting to have this conversation with Peter. And so Jesus, he asked Peter, says, Peter, do you love me? Peter says, yes, of course I love you, Lord. So Jesus tells him, then feed my sheep. What Jesus is talking about, the love he's talking about, is like a forever love, like a love that's called unconditional. No matter what, that you will love Jesus. And Peter is talking about just love, brotherly love, love that you would have for a friend or a brother that can be conditional, you know? You could stop loving that person if they hurt you or harm you or they do something that you don't like. They were talking about two different loves there, but Jesus asks him 2 more times, do you love me? Do you love me? And Peter says, yes, yes, and gets frustrated at Jesus. But Jesus was trying to help him remember what that means. And if he really loves him, to go and take care of Jesus' people, of the people that don't know who he is yet. And Peter finally understood. After denying him 3 times, remembering how much he loved Jesus, after talking to Jesus and answering him 3 times, understood what Jesus meant by having unconditional love. And Peter had to realize and recognize that he made a big mistake. He had to be humble, and he had to accept that he made that mistake. Learn from it, and do better. And that's what he did. And when we're humble, that helps us be forgiven. When you're humble with your mom or your dad and you did something wrong, it's much easier for them to forgive you, much easier for them to give you a smaller punishment if you are humble with them. And it's not to get out of it, because when we make a mistake, we have to deal with those consequences. No matter if we do something good or bad, there's always consequences, and they could be good or bad consequences. But when we're humble and we do the right work to be forgiven, that's when people can recognize our hard work and forgive us. It's not always easy to be forgiven. It does take hard work, but it's worth it in the end to restore relationships, to restore perspectives, and to restore our relationship with Jesus. We even have to do that with him. When we make a mistake and we ask him, Jesus, forgive us of our sins, of our mistakes, of the things we did in our past, so we can learn from them, grow from them, and become better people and followers of you. And I wish this for you today. I want to pray this for you today. So join me in praying. Close your eyes, bow your head. Let's pray. God, thank you so much for the opportunity to be humble, and how that opportunity to be humble can cause us to learn from our mistakes, grow as a person, do work as a person to become a better follower of Jesus and a better human being. We love you and we thank you for this. We ask for humbleness to be stored within our hearts always, whether we're doing something really, really great or we've done something really, really bad. Be with us and help us to be humble, God. We love you and never pray. Amen.
What a great time we've had together, friends.
So much
Thank
fun.
you, Pastor Casey, for that great word.
Of course.
And we had fun worshiping, and those lava lamps were kind of epic how they
were pretty
volcanoed over.
They became volcano lava.
They
Which
did,
makes
they did.
sense because lava is in a volcano.
Oh, look at that.
There you
Science,
go.
right? Well, we would love to invite you to our Sunday mornings. As much fun as we have here, we have that much fun times 2, or maybe times like 10. But on a Sunday morning, join us here at Active Church at 9 and 10:45. Every Sunday, we're here, kids room open, we have a great time. But we have something really cool coming up. Everybody knows about Easter, right? But it is in 2 more weeks on April 4th. We are having a huge blowout Easter celebration at 8, 9:30, and 11 right here at Active. What are we doing with kids, Casey?
We go big here at Active for Easter, so we're doing churros for everybody on campus.
Woo-hoo.
So in between our services, our 8 a.m., 9:30, and our 9:30 and 11 service, and after you get out of the 11 service, we have churros for you guys. So you go, they're completely free to you, and we are going to do the glow games during service.
Woo-hoo.
So we have an awesome service planned for you, and part of that is the glow games. We're going to be doing glow-in-the-dark beach volleyball, we're going to be doing glow-in-the-dark laser tag, and we have some fun things planned for the littles as well,
Yeah.
and glow sticks for everybody.
all, yeah.
So make sure you guys come, and there might be some prizes for those winners of the glow games.
It's going to be really fun. But we will see you again next week right here at the Active Kids Show. We love you guys. Bye.